Okay, this is Implied Kappa. We've got Krazaz on the mic as well.
Hello.
You are watching a 4-player race of Shivers, a game that nobody else other than these 6 people have ever heard of.
This was a 1995 Sierra game made next to the more famous Phantasmagoria. This was for a lower age group, as you know. But that doesn't mean it's not hard, because it is actually pretty hard as a game to play.
In the upper left, we've got Kelly, who very quickly got our world record in multiple categories. We've got AcktionJaxon, I think one of the original 3. Down below, we have Katie Moon, who has been running this about 6 months, and Attigo, one of our newest runners. I think we're about ready to start off, right? Want to do the countdown for our crew?
All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. All right. They should be going. Yep, there you go.
So this game is by default randomized?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. No, she's good. I saw her mouse move. Okay. Yeah, she's good. All right, yes. By default, it's randomized, but we are using a modded version provided and programmed through Cheat Engine by our the wonderful Godlfire, Godl Fire.
One of the big hackers in our group.
Basically, this adds a few extra locations and takes out one of our more annoying puzzles, so that you guys don't have to sit through
a 4.5-minute memory puzzle, because nobody ever enjoyed that.
14 steps, Simon says. No, that's never fun. So this helps a lot. You'll see them pausing here. This is a skip where we pause. We quickly touch the power generator in order to skip a sound effect that lasts a good 5 seconds to power up the museum.
It's like 7 to 10 seconds, and if you get it in the first 2 tries, you're still saving time.
Okay, so the basic premise of this game is that you and your dumb friends have decided to lock you into this museum, and you basically have to capture 10 monsters using several pots that have been hidden around the museum, and match the corresponding elements to the elements of each monster.
Yeah, there's Godlfire in chat. Can I get some Kong chants for Godlfire? Anybody in chat got a Kong chant for me?
Anyway, so you'll see that they're doing this in elevator puzzles. This is a heavily RNG-based puzzle, and it is very annoying to get through. And Kappa would know, since the 100% category.
There's 7 of them or something?
Yeah, you have to do, because
just why only 2 people have ever run that.
I don't know if the staff has noticed, but the general timer has not started for everybody.
We totally do not have a timer right now. Anyway, you'll know when somebody finishes. Along the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a user interface. There are 10 little divots along that. You're going to see, as people capture these ghosts, they're going to fill up. So that's your best clue about who's ahead. Right now, nobody's caught anything, but I can tell pretty easily that Gelly's ahead a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely.
They're just going to be solving puzzles in whatever order they are most comfortable with, and trying to match up these 2 halves of each pot so they can then find the corresponding ghosts, capture them, and then move on to the next one. And fortunately, as we mentioned earlier, no 4.5-minute memory puzzle. It's the greatest gift Godlfire ever gave us.
Yeah. The other modifier that we have added to the game is that we have added a skip to the red door. So the red door is a puzzle that basically have to make a picture, and it uses not tetrominoes but quadrominoes, I believe, or not quintrominoes. That's it. They're 5 pieces.
Are there some that are 4? Or maybe they're all 5.
They're all 5.
Oh, I've never even noticed that.
And that one's really annoying. So we normally, in most runs, just skip that door and just go around because you can, completely optional. But for this category, we decided that we have left that pathway open for anyone to use. Keep in mind that this does have like some weird stuff where if you don't know the solution to the puzzle that Gelly's doing right now, the Tiki one, that you can get stuck.
But everybody knows what category they're running, so you're not going to see that, hopefully, unless somebody forgets what they're running. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Everybody has their own kind of like preferences on what puzzles they do early and which they do late. Already seeing everybody almost everybody in different rooms.
Looks like Jackson's about to get her first capture. He's going for workshop. He said he was going to go to try to get wood in workshop, which
this is almost certainly not going to pay out for him.
Yeah, he gave up. He tried at least.
Take much. So there are multiple locations that each of these elemental spirits can pop up in. It's random whether they are there when you enter the room. We have kind of created a compilation of where you have to walk away in order for the game to kind of re-roll the dice and see whether or not they're going to spawn. That one's really ugly. It's really far away from the other ones, so if you want to use a more friendly one, you have to hoof it a little bit, but if you don't get that one on the first try, it's probably not going to be worth it.
Yeah. I see Katie has also picked up the wood, and she's also going for the one in the secret passage. Looks like Gelly has gone a completely different route from everybody else.
Jackson's given up on wood and stashed the wood pot and the eggs.
Yeah, I know. As for the skulls, you might have noticed a few of them messing with some skulls. There's like 2 super puzzles that expand over the entire museum. That's one of them. There's a guide to them, and they have to get all those skulls in order to unlock the slide at the end of the game, which will allow them to get the one last piece. So that's another aspect of the randomizer, is that there are 3 pieces that are normally guaranteed to spawn in certain locations. We have scrambled those as well. That would be the ash pots as well as the lightning top. So they have to capture lightning last because that's how the game normally ends.
What makes that really interesting is that there are going to be 3 spots in the game that are unused, one of which we know of, which is the worst puzzle in the game, the 4.5-minute memory puzzle. But then there are going to be 2 other blanks where they're going to solve a puzzle, and then the reward is going to be nothing.
Right.
Oh, there it was. Alchemy. No reward.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. God, it's like Gilly.
And Jackson has grabbed the wood, but Katie actually got it first. I didn't see her grab it, but I see her UI gotten it.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if they were going too fast for chat to notice, but everybody's missing a health because you have to get attacked by the water Exuvi as you enter the museum. So they will have to take it's forced that they have to like wait a few seconds when capturing water, because otherwise they won't absorb the last excuse me, I said that wrong. They will have to gain that health as well as capture the Exuvi at the same time, so it takes that animation a little bit more.
We've got 1 out of 10 so far. The really interesting thing about the game is that the early game is usually all about kind of solving all the puzzles and figuring out where everything is. I don't know if we mentioned, but there's only room for 1 item in your inventory at all times, and that can either be half of a pot, or if you find both halves of a pot, then they can occupy your 1 space. So a lot of the trouble of running this game is trying to figure out, all right, what's the most efficient route if I can only hold 1 thing at a time, to making sure that I get these things together and stash them somewhere near a spawn point. And you're going to start seeing the the runners ramping up how quickly they're capturing ghosts in the back half of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of on-the-fly routing to be had with Shivers. Sometimes you'll get exactly the match you need, but it's on the complete other half of the museum, and so you have to decide whether you're going to leave it where it is, or you're going to have to run all the way back over there and maybe waste time trying to do your rolls. So I see Gelly now is traversing the maze. There are 2 Exupi that have 2 guaranteed locations they're going to be all the time. Exupi being the name of monsters, by the way. So that is Gelly lost?
I think he's lost. I'm watching this too.
Yeah, he might be lost.
He doesn't know where he is in the maze.
That's a problem.
I don't mean to point out people's mistakes or anything, but that is unfortunate.
Yeah, considering he's grabbed a few world records at this point, yeah, you can see his frustration. But he is going for oil, and okay, he is in the main room now. He should be able to find his way and orient himself. So he's going to find Tar because Tar is always in this room, which means that he is guaranteed capture here.
And 9 times out of 10, that spirit's going to be holding a pot, so he's going to need to come down here anyway.
It's hard to see, but he is. So Jackson is at 2. He captured Crystal earlier. And nice. Gelly is at 1 with oil, and Katie with 1.
There we are, the Chinese checkers puzzle, or it's not really Chinese checkers.
It's Chinese solitaire, technically.
Yeah. I think that we've gotten used to calling it Chinese checkers just because it's what everybody else says.
I just call it China. But it's basically all memorization game for that one.
It's the only puzzle in the game I had to look up when I was a kid.
Yeah, basically, this is one of 2, and in fact, pretty much every marble puzzle except for the trail one, the one that unlocks the door, is basically the harder puzzles that you probably have to look up. We'll see it later, but the one in the puzzle room, the hardest puzzle in the game, was explicitly designed by Sierra to get you to call the Sierra hint hotline for you to pay, what was it, fucking $4.99 a minute.
I was already good at, well, it wasn't Google then, it was Lycos, but I was already handy with Lycos. They weren't getting my money beyond the game. They still managed. They still got me back because then they made Shivers 2.
Yes. So there is a sequel to this game. It is not as good / also not as speed runnable. You can speed run it,
but it's not fun because it's not randomized like this one is. This one is brilliant. This is randomizers before randomizers were randomizers.
It actually is also one of the first instances of auto-saving in a game, especially in a puzzle game. So every time you complete a puzzle, the game saves itself automatically if you have that option on. So if your game crashes, you can always go back to playing your game at about where you last solved the puzzle. Or at least capture.
Jackson just caught Ash. She's at 3.
Okay, and I see Gelly's capturing Crystal.
Gelly's right behind, just capturing Crystal.
So is Katie at the same time. Wow. Oh, just so people in the background know, final time is at the end of the electricity capturing animation, or rather, whenever the pot hits the UI down there.
We'll just.
That's when you have to do splits too.
Yeah.
When the pot hits your UI. Jackson is in the library right now. He's checking out what pots he's got in there. Common tactic that people like to do whenever there's nothing up in the shelves is that they like to kick the ladder back over to indicate that there's nothing out there anymore.
I love that the little things that I did as memories have become common practice.
Yeah, yeah.
We've all contributed to this run in some way or another, and it's a small enough community that we all kind of know who did what. It's fun that way. We've got like 10 runners in this community.
ever since the actually 11, because Ada hasn't actually put in any times yet. So he would be the 11th on the leaderboard. I'm currently sitting at last place because I'm lazy. But
I'm stuck 2 seconds behind Steven because I run like once a month.
it's fine. But we grow ever since the GOG release. We have grown every Halloween because people like streaming some silly horror game from 1995.
And we all invade their chats and say, "Hey, join us! Hey guys!
Yeah.
Hey guys!"
Hey everybody! I'm the community manager for the Shivers speedrunning community. Let me know if you have any questions. I basically say that every time I see somebody streaming Shiver.
I think we're more like children tugging at the adult's sleeve, saying, "Can you play with us?"
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the puzzles in this game aren't actually very good puzzles. They're just kind of combination locks where the answer to the combination is buried in a book. So you're not going to actually see them looking at these books. So most of these solutions don't actually make sense. One of the exceptions is that alchemy puzzle in the bottom right, which, gosh, I couldn't even explain the brilliant work that has gone into explaining how to solve that more quickly. But GameBop did some incredible work.
Yes, our current any % world record holder, or fully soupy run technically, Vanilla. He is actually very impressive on how he has broken this game down, and he keeps his not quite sub 25 run very, very secure. It's like 25, like 20.
Always dangling outside of reach. So he's our carrot on a string.
Mm-hmm. But I can definitely see Gelly. He's got the skills to get there. I think.
Has he been doing vanilla or just rando?
He's done vanilla before.
Okay.
I think he's like currently second or third, because I know he outlaps Jackson not too long ago. Because Jackson had world record for like less than 24 hours before GameBop came and just took it again. Which that's always the like strangest feeling in the world when you get world record and the other guy just comes up and snatches it back.
Oh man, Jackson's sitting at 5.
Yeah.
See, what did he get?
He got 3, Gelly F4. So in the lore, there are actually 3 more Xupi, but they have claimed victims. So you'll find their pots. You may have actually seen it at the beginning. That was the one that killed the professor who owned the museum.
The 3 desiccated corpses of their victims are probably why this game is rated T for teen.
Was. Apparently it's also Peggy 7 back when it came out. But, different standards.
Right.
So Gelly is currently on a mastermind. Ooh, and a really good mastermind indeed. Look at him go.
Yeah, he was saying that he basically shuffles until he gets at least 2 hands to guarantee that he's not going to be doing as much flipping.
Mm-hmm.
I usually just go with whatever I have. Different strategies. I think I'll continue to do mine, but that's probably why I'm going to be camping out in 4th.
Mm-hmm. So what Gelly's doing is currently the hardest puzzle in the game, but because we memorized it, you just have to remember the first 5 moves and you got it.
I swear that I solved that when I was a teenager. So anybody who says it's unsolvable is lying.
It's not unsolvable. It's just it's very asymmetrical, and so you do have to get out a piece of paper and actually write down what's going on to get it.
You have to put some work in. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Gelly grabbing wax. He's gonna get his 5th here soon. You can see Jackson speeding off to go get the other half of oil. Katie also on her 5th with sand. About to get. Oh, she got attacked. Yeah, if you click on him too early, too antsy, you're gonna get attacked.
Gotta grab the pot.
Atago playing it pretty slow. He's just now getting his 2nd. He's probably going around and solving everything before he actually starts capture.
Just collecting info.
Mm-hmm. Which is a fair tactic.
Right. He's probably just going to be speeding through the collection at the very end.
And Jackson also about to head into the oil room. See how fast he went from the entrance to the oil room. That's normally how fast it takes. Not to shame on Gelly getting
right. No, if you misclick though, it is really easy to not be able to tell where you are in the maze anymore because everything does look the same. But
hopefully everybody in chat got to hear that amazing maze riff. The music in this game is great.
Right. Yeah, that's the best song, and you hear it for like 14 seconds because you know your way through the maze.
Right. That's usually how it goes.
The disappointing end of speedrunning, you don't get to hear your best music.
Jackson going for his 7th now. He's got water. I think he's going to get it first.
I think that maze might have been what decided this race.
Probably. But and otherwise, Katie is actually catching up. She's I could see her getting really close to Gelly once if Jackson finishes for either of them.
They are technically tied right now.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been paying attention to who's solved more puzzles or anything, but by the most obvious metric, they are tied.
I think Gelly does have the lead on actual puzzles, and he is also grabbing his 6th.
There it is. And what's behind cloth?
Funny note, this bathroom here is ripped directly from Phantasmagoria. It's just flipped around. That's why it looks kind of weird compared to the rest of the game. It's also the only bathroom in the museum, and Windlenot's bedroom is all the way on top of a tower where we're not even going to see it in this run because that's only part of 100%. You don't need to go up there. But just for perspective, if this man wanted to go to the bathroom, he would have to do an elevator puzzle, take the elevator, has to crawl underneath a secret passage into his office,
walk into the foyer,
go up some stairs, do another puzzle, or take. I guess he would take the secret passage. So he have to duck again, take the secret passage, go up 2-3 flights of stairs, only to come out.
Does he already have the red door unlocked? I think that's the big question.
Good question. I don't know. But he would have to, either way, he would have to go up a bunch of stairs just to go down a set of stairs and then go to the bathroom.
We've actually had way too many conversations looking at the blueprints of this game at how weird the museum design is.
Oh yeah, this thing cannot physically exist.
We've full on had a 6-person voice chat just talking about the blueprints. This is my community of geeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least there is a bathroom, unlike most games, right? Though
the presence of one bathroom is the mistake, because then you start thinking about it. There are no bathrooms, you don't think about it.
Yeah, I would assume that he probably doesn't do all that, and he probably has a chamber pot under his bed, because he's British. I don't know if they still do that in Britain. I'm just
live in Britain. What state do they live in? I forget.
Good question.
I'm sure it's in the journal. I forget, or in one of the newspaper articles.
Sure.
Like
Several
every
cry out pain.
Like every game that doesn't have enough cutscenes to explain the story, most of the story is written on scraps of paper because everybody journals constantly, even when they're being chased by ghosts.
It's an adventure game, so everybody has to take notes from Myst, don't you know?
Right.
I believe this came out 2 years after Myst did.
Something like that.
Because I'm pretty sure it's 93, and that this is 95.
Okay, sounds right. This is definitely 95.
Again, I can't quote. Don't quote me on that. And Shivers 2 perspective, it was from 97. Oh,
And then Shivers 2 is definitely set in New Mexico.
yeah. Oh, but if you're asking what state this game is set in, I believe it's Massachusetts.
Okay.
Or wherever Mount Pleasant is. I don't know.
Might not even exist.
No, I'm pretty sure Mount Pleasant's a thing.
You got a very vocal cat on your end.
I apologize. He is a very vocal cat. I was hoping you wouldn't hear him through the door.
I don't know if anybody else can hear. I've got the game audio muted, but that is sure a cat.
It's okay.
Gelly has got 9.
Wow. Galley is actually about to finish first. He's going into, and there it is.
Even getting lost in the maze could not stop Gelly from pulling ahead here.
And
all right.
And it is. Hold on, re-missed. Time for Gelly. All right. And Jackson is probably not too far behind. He's at 2 remaining. Okay, so is Katie, also at 2 remaining. Atigo probably not having the best time, maybe. He's still at 3.
It gives us an opportunity if anybody wants, since I did kind of have a very generous estimate if we want to pull in our winner. Well, Gelly's not much for post-game interviews, but yeah, there's our first finish, and we can kind of watch through these last, these next couple of.
You guys think everything's all right?
Yep.
I don't know.
And here are your 4 friends, quote unquote, who come and see the wreckage and then realize that you're still in there, so that they can save you. Only for the newspaper at the end to say that 4 teens found the.
But first, we have to introduce our friends to our new friend, Beth.
Right.
Find the ghosts.
Ah, yes, we have to introduce them to the lovely Beth, and there she is.
Better days.
All right, but yeah, it's the article here says 4 teens found the museum like this, not 5, because
we were 40 years old the whole time.
Clearly, and we just happen to be hanging out with 4 disgustingly 90s teenagers. Okay, we get it. Cat. Damn. Excuse me.
All right, and
so,
Jackson just kind of
Katie
pulled a lid for lightning here, and he is also on the exit run through the basement.
Do you dare play?
Looks like Katie is stuck on. Oh nope, she just got Mastermind. Good.
Nice.
As for techniques with Mastermind, I usually go for if I don't have more than 11, on my 3rd one, I just reset.
I'm usually too proud to give up until I've run out of time on my first one. Unless I make some serious mistakes and I realize that it's unsolvable without a whole lot of luck. But I need to learn how to reset on that puzzle.
All right. I like how we gave them a 40-minute estimate, and yet our timer. I mean, granted, our timer started a bit late. So probably about add like 3 minutes to that, but still we estimate about 40, and yet we're half that time. So I don't know if we're going to give enough time for Gelly to finish his run, or not Gelly, excuse me, Atigo.
Nice BoJack horse in the background. Jackson.
That's up to moderation if they want. If we're gonna let him finish, or if you're gonna DNF him, I don't know.
I think that it's probably going to take a bit long, and I think this marathon needs to keep going at a good clip. But we should definitely watch Katie finish. She's not far out right now.
Right. Yeah, I definitely expected Katie. But I'll let Atigo know if he. If we don't have enough time for him.
And here we see Katie trying to force the spawn of the wax exupy because it's not being friendly right now.
Yeah, his respawn point is looking at the looking around the elevator square. It's usually respawn points are like right next to a door, or at least some kind of entrance.
But then there's the weird one for Ash where it lets you go through like 3 doors and come back and he's still there.
Yeah, but usually it's still by a door. Is
right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Katie's going for the kill. Camping out in the room with the second best music in the game. Okay, that's 3 out of 4 runners.
All right, and that's time for Katie. All right, so yeah, it's up to the mods at this point. Are we allowing Ada to keep going, or are we gonna tell him the?
He's got a good several minutes left. Don't know. Has he solved every puzzle? I've kind of had my attention split for this whole time.
Oh yeah, it was. I was more focusing on my commentary to be.
Yeah, same. But at minimum,
he has 3 left, and he's got the crystal, so he's got.
He's got some time left.
If he's going for crystal respawn, he's going a little too far.
Okay.
Oh, and Jackson is in chat. He is lamenting the how bad it is to.
Yeah. Metal has 2 spawns in the game. You would think that it would then spawn 50% of the time that you walk into a room.
He
it does not.
Has 3.
3. That's right. The suit of armor that nobody uses.
Mm-hmm. That room I mentioned, that Windowlot's bedroom that we're not seeing, is behind an elevator, or at least 2 elevator puzzles, so it's not worth going through.
If you want to retrace Windowlot's journey to use the restroom backwards, then there's a 3rd spawn that you can get, but nobody uses that one.
Yeah.
So 2 left on Adagoat here. I think that he's probably got these pots assembled somewhere.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Is he trying to remember where it is?
That's the struggle that everybody has to deal with in Shivers Randomizer.
You have to manage.
Where did I leave my keys? It's that.
Where did I leave my keys? The video game.
Yeah.
It's it is 20 pieces on 23 possible locations.
The best thing that can happen is you start making 22 matches right away, so you can just purge that information from your memory and only focus on 6. But you get a bad run, you might have to memorize like where 14 things are at once, because you don't get a match until your 11th one, and you pass 3 others on the way to your first one. This game can be rough on the memory.
Yeah, and it definitely sucks, especially when you remember more about last run than you do about this one.
Yeah, there's kind of a hard limit. I can only do 2 runs in a session. Like, you throw a 3rd run at me, I am everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I can usually do about 3, maybe 4 if I'm feeling lucky about it.
Nah, my performance declines drastically at 3, so I've given up on trying to push it.
As for other categories, we do, like I mentioned, the 100% run, but we also have a 1st to 5 run, which is the first to capture just 5 guys. So it cuts out on your routing a lot.
You can be a lot more selective on which puzzles you want to do.
Yeah, you could choose not to go upstairs as much.
Or if the first pot that you put together is metal, rather than doing what Atagoat's doing right now, you just say, nope, screw this run.
Yeah.
Not dealing with metal.
Mm-hmm. Still not popping up from... they get a... yeah, he didn't go far enough in. You have to go straight and looking at the door.
Oh, this is...
Like he's going to go check theater instead. Since Atagoat is kind of new, he probably doesn't know the exact precise locations of the respawn points, which again are still a gamble anyway.
Yeah, there's kind of a barrier for entry on all the little things that you have to learn in order to make sure that you don't wind up on one of these journeys walking back and forth, not even allowing the game to respawn. But you get a handle on all these things. This is an incredibly rewarding run. It's terrible because of how much RNG there is, but like you build up these skills and then you roll a good seed, and it feels so satisfying to, drop 5 minutes off your record.
Definitely. We're still looking out for the perfect seed there. Yeah, it still hasn't quite popped up. We have done the analysis, and at least in vanilla, we know that is he going back? Yeah, he's going to go back. That certain pots will appear in some places a little bit more frequently than others. And of course they're also like split. Most of them are, if one pot is upstairs, the other pot will be downstairs. They're not always. I'm
just going to take a brief moment. I've been seeing that that progress meter stuck on Touhou 6 for like, is that a 6 or a G? Anyway, there's a Touhou game that you guys can unlock by donating just $51 more. If anybody feels like feeding the kids, which is the entire point of this whole marathon, if you remember.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's help us get Touhou 6 unlocked.
Yeah, and that's Atagoat capturing metal. He has one more left, and that's... Oh, no, wait, he has two more.
Two more?
I did. Yeah, at the very end.
I missed the far right one, yeah.
I didn't notice that either. Is that... Which one is that?
I never remember the order.
Trying to look at them.
They say it's wax. Yeah, I don't see the dragon flower head thing.
Yeah, it's wax. I think, if I remember correctly, wax is in... I wasn't super paying attention, so again, don't... Pretty sure...
Hellfire is saying that one piece of it's in front of the skull door.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to come up onto that piece.
Yeah, I saw him pass it up earlier. Yeah, this door positioning is finicky. Has he not done this room yet, or the slide yet? Maybe that's what it is. He just took the slide. Okay, so he had it set up. All right. So Wax also has several locations he can be in. One in particular being the library. Looks like he missed the door. And like Katie did earlier, he's going to try to roll him by... Yep, and he did. All right, one more pot.
Okay, does he have this set up already? Do we have lightning just right here in the library?
He has the lid. Let's see, where did he put the pot?
One more piece. One more piece. Absolutely go mode.
Okay, he's good. All right, so after this, he should be able to cap it off.
Yep, this lightning one is a guaranteed spawn in the basement, so all we have to do is walk there.
Yep, and then it's end. All right, if anybody wants to check out Shivers, it's usually about like $6 on GOG. Goes on sale all the time. especially around Halloween because they specifically target horror games.
And this speedrunning community is more community than speedrunning, so we're really receptive to new friends.
Yeah, definitely. Check us out on our speedrun page. We have a Discord link there. We have all the tools. If you want to try Super Randomizer, it's all there.
I think people were listening. I think we unlocked Toho 6, so thank you for whoever's donation that was. I hope one of the admins can give credit where credit is due.
That's
all right, this has been Krazaz and Implied Kappa. Everybody, thanks for
thank you very much.
Thanks for taking this game seriously enough to let us showcase it for the second time.
Yeah. Hope to see you guys again in the future. This was great.
All right, and shout outs again to our 4 runners. Got PewDiePie, we've got Godallfire, who created our randomizer in chat. GameBop, who didn't show. Boxy, who didn't show.
It's fine. But we have a great community, and yeah. It's a good time for everybody.
These are all good people. This is why I remember their names even when they don't show. Just giving you crap.
All right, yeah, feed the kids. Great.